Hi everyone. Well, third exercise of the design thinking process as taught at Stanford. We've seen the dashboard, so where you are right now, right this moment in your life, and we gave you the compass, so a tool to make sure that even when it's not sure where you're going, to monitor that you are always on the right direction. Right now, we gonna have a third step, which is gonna tackle another very common dysfunctional belief. Work is not supposed to be enjoyable, that's why they call it work. The correct reframe is, since work is something that you're gonna do for the majority of your time, enjoyment is or should be a guide to finding the right work for you. So the third exercise is called Good Time Journal. Two main components: activities and reflection. Right now, we are gonna dig in your daily life, your daily routine, what you are doing daily, and we're gonna weight it on two different dimensions. The first one is engagement, and the second one is energy. Let's start from engagement. Engagement is how much you are interested in this activity. And it's when you find out those activities that really engage you that you have the founding pillar of redesigning your life. Particularly important when we talk about engagement, it's the sense of flow. It's that sense in which everything makes sense and you feel like a blade cutting through butter. As they say, flow is engagement on steroids, and the majority of people experiencing it, they all report the same feeling, like experiencing a complete involvement in the activity, feeling a sense of ecstasy and euphoria, having great inner clarity, knowing just what to do and how to do it, being totally calm and at peace, and feeling as if time were standing still or disappearing in an instant. For me, for example, when I started doing the exercise, I realized that the moments in which I was experiencing this sense of flow was when I was telling a story. It started when I was 16 and I started writing my own songs, and it developed into the strategic presentation that I really care about. When I was writing the presentation, writing down the speech for the TED Talk that I delivered in the Bocconi University, and that brought me inner clarity. It turned out that I didn't really want to be a rock star, I just want to be a storyteller. And this is something incredibly powerful because this is how life design works. Not by waiting for the perfect job to show itself, but to co-create with what you have. Second dimension is energy. Energy seems to be similar to engagement and sense of flow, but it's not. Because if it's true that engagement could be low or high, it never goes negative. With energy, energy could be low, high, and even negative. You do certain activities that actually are draining your energy. In my case, it was reporting my expenses. I was a very heavy traveler. I was jumping on a flight every 2 or 3 days. And this obviously resulted in a lot of expenses to report. Every week, I was probably generating around 200 different receipts. That was not boring me to death. It was just killing me. And in finding out that, I found out the cure. So the first part of the Good Time Journal is for you to sit down and write down the type of activities that you do and to weight them on these two dimensions, engagement and energy. So engagement, low, high, flow, and energy, high, low, negative. Also, try to remember those moments in which you've experienced a particular sense of flow or particularly engaged, or when you experience real pain in doing something. If those memories stuck with you, they did for a reason. Try to do it daily for a week, and at the end of every week, try to write a small reflection of what you find out. Try to be very specific. The deeper you go in describing your activities, the better it is. So at Stanford, they teach us a method to go very specific in each and every single activity that you list. The AEIOU method: activities, environment, interaction, objects, and users. The activities are what you were actually doing. Was it structure, unstructured? You had a specific role, or just a participant? Second dimension is the environment. The environment is fundamental. Were you alone? Were you with someone? Were you talking to an interested audience? For me, for example, second sense of flow comes when I present my stories. When I'm writing a story, I need to be alone by myself with a piece of paper or a notebook and a pen. When I tell my stories, I need to have an audience and hopefully an interested audience. Interaction. What were you interacting with? What kind of interaction was it? Was it formal? Was it informal? This kind of things. object. What kind of object were you having in your hand? By collecting what I was doing daily, writing digital strategy, writing speeches, or writing songs when I was 16, 17, 19, 20, I realized that I was alone with a pen and with a notebook. And if I was trying to do the same using an iPad or my Mac, that sense of flow wasn't coming. So it's in this type of awareness that you're building concrete pillars and stepping stones to redesign your life. And users, were you alone or were you with someone? For example, when I write my stories, I'm alone. But then, in order to experience another sense of flow, I have certain users that I always go to. So please try to do this type of activities, and after, write reflections and see if there are some surprises or findings. This really made a tremendous difference. It started a revolution from my head, as Johannes used to say. So do yourself a favor, do this exercise. If you haven't done the first two, do the first two first and then do this one. Feel free to lose your dysfunctional beliefs that are keeping you chained to the ground. So that's it for now. I'll see you in the next video with the fourth exercise. Until then, ciao everyone and rock on.